Welcome. Thank you for joining, everyone. I think we will go ahead and get started. I think we've given everyone a few extra minutes to get logged in and get situated. So thank you again for joining us today. My name is Misty Hobroch, and I am a marketing manager here at ReachForce. So ReachForce is a marketing data company focused on helping B2B marketers deliver growth through our data quality solutions. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us and taking the time out of your busy schedules to learn a little bit about the data prerequisites for ABM success today. So let's go on over to the agenda. So today we're going to talk about one of the hottest topics in marketing right now, account-based marketing, also referred to as ABM, and how data enrichment plays an important role within your organization's ABM initiatives. So we will discuss the data prerequisites for a successful ABM approach, web form best practices to help accelerate conversions, the benefits of capturing that high-value lead data at the point of entry in real time on your lead forms. And we will also discuss how smart forms will help keep your ABM initiatives on target. So just a few housekeeping items before we jump in and get rolling. Everyone is in listen-only mode. And as your questions come up throughout the webinar, please feel free to submit them into the question box. And at the end, we will have time for a brief Q&A session. And if your question is not answered, we will definitely follow up with you after the webcast. All right, well, let's get started here. I'm going to move on to our next slide. So what is ABM? So ABM stands for account-based marketing, which I'm sure the majority of you have heard that term. And ABM, it's a B2B strategic approach to reaching a smaller subset of prospects that meet your company's ideal profile. So as opposed to more traditional marketing tactics that cast just a wide net in terms of targeting and messaging, it's more focused on a narrower lead generation strategy in which the leads are highly qualified. So ABM programs operate on that philosophy of delivering really personalized messaging to a smaller set of targeted accounts. So even though you're marketing to a smaller number of people, the accounts are highly qualified and they have been already identified within your organization as being a good fit. And then along with these with the highly qualified leads, they are nurtured along the buyer's journey, and with the ultimate goal of converting them into a sales lead, marketing pipeline growth, or potentially even a strategic partner. So within an ABM initiative, it's critical for your sales and marketing to align for the ABM to be successful. There needs to be a clear understanding on both sides within the sales team and your marketing team of the accounts that the company is prospecting and going after. So why is ABM all the buzz right now? It's almost impossible to look on Twitter or even LinkedIn and not see something about ABM. So ABM, it's definitely getting a lot of buzz, and for good reason. Companies with sustained ABM initiatives are seeing positive and also measurable results. So ABM, it's not a new marketing technique. However, it's currently at the top of everyone's mind and has been termed differently. So an ABM program that is well planned and thoughtfully executed can definitely create an influx of marketing qualified leads and sales pipeline. Those companies practicing ABM have reported better alignment with sales, often close bigger deals with target accounts, and increased pipeline velocity. And according to a 2015 survey by Serious Decisions, 92% of companies recognize the value in ABM and are calling it a B2B marketer's must-have. So poor database quality. Poor database quality is often one of the biggest obstacles that we marketers face in order to effectively reach target accounts. And by poor database quality, I'm referring to having either old or bad email addresses, um, incomplete, missing data, and duplicate records. So those, among other factors, often make it impossible to reach your target accounts successfully. Um, in fact, according to Marketing Sherpa, this is a really interesting statistic, that 50%, that's half, of all email addresses go bad every 12 months, and only 21% of prospects actually provide the accurate phone numbers through form fills. And I have to admit, at times I'm guilty of that, not providing the correct number, phone number on these form fills. So those, are just really interesting statistics and bring up the issue around your data quality and how important it is to keep that up to date and try to import that clean, validated data on the front end. So now what we are going to do is have our first polling question. So I am going to launch this polling question up onto your screen, and then I will give you a minute or so to participate if you would like. And once everyone is done, we will then move on. All right, I'll give everyone just a few more seconds and then we will move on with the webinar. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Thank you to everyone that participated in that polling question. All right, we will now move on to our next slide here. Okay, so as you can see, just from what we've already discussed, the importance of capturing high-value data at the point of entry in real time is critical for accurate account linkage. There's often that painful gap between having to keep your registration form short so that your conversion rates will stay high while still capturing all that rich data needed for successful ABM initiatives. The need to append and enrich data in real time is crucial for account targeting. So making sure account data is accurate and organized is a must for lead scoring, routing, and also nurturing as well. So now what I'm going to do is walk you through how SmartForms can help to combat that incomplete data from your leads by importing clean, validated, and standardized data in real time at the point of lead conception to help offset that loss of data every month. So how does it work? So SmartForms sits on top of any form in a marketing automation platform or other lead form software. So here on the screen I'm showing an example of an existing customer of ours, Hortonworks, using SmartForms on their Contact Us page. Here you see where I have entered my marketing leader's information on the form. First name, last name, email address, phone number, company name, and the primary reason interested. So SmartForms will then work in real time behind the scenes to gather all that firmographic and demographic information for our company. So now you can see after I clicked submit, SmartForms is now requesting that I verify which company I'm referring to. And the reason for this feature is it helps improve accuracy of the match between the company and the information it provides. So even if I chose none of the above, SmartForms is going to choose it for me. So once a prospect submits their information, SmartForms then appends all that company lead data in real time and sends it immediately to your marketing automation platform or CRM. Also would like to point out that this window that you see that has popped up is fully customizable, including the number of companies that are suggested, as well as the algorithm of how SmartForms determines which company selections to suggest or choose. So now what I'm going to do is launch our second and final polling question. So give me just 1 second and I will get it up on your screen. Okay, there it is. So I will give everyone a little bit of time to participate in this polling question, and then we will get moving after that. Okay, I'm going to give everyone just a couple more seconds to participate if you would like, and then we will keep moving on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that one out. Thank you to everyone that participated in that polling question. Okay, so here we are. We have submitted our information. We will then select the company that we are with. And once we select that company, here is an illustration of the type of information that you would receive. So on the left is the optimized and user-friendly form with a handful of fields. And then on the right is what SmartForms is appending alongside the manually entered information from the prospect. So as you can see here on the right, there are a lot of fields here. And this is only a sampling of data, as there are over 120 data points that you can pick and choose from that are available for appending. We also include install technology or all of the corporate hierarchy information. So again, this is fully configurable, customizable, so you can consume as much of this information, all 120 data points, or as little as you feel that are required for your specific business needs. Another cool feature of smart forms is the structured data that it provides company information for domestic offices and the global parent company. So this can be extremely helpful when it comes to segmentation and identifying the possibility of a much larger opportunity that might be available. So here's another visualization of how SmartForms captures the necessary data on the first form fill. So therefore, when your prospects return, on subsequent forms, marketers can then focus on using more progressive profiling to help capture more important BANT information, since on the first form fill, SmartForm has already appended all of the firmographic and demographic data. So SmartForm really allows for that, for a more effective and personalization for leads, therefore helping to shorten the length of the buyer's journey through that marketing funnel, and also helping to close that loop on lead to opportunity conversion with, improving the direct ROI for your marketing programs. So here you see the customer adoption of Resource for SmartForms. There are many benefits for having enriched marketing data, and this chart represents, some of the reasons why our customers are adopting SmartForms. Most of them are not adopting for just one reason, but for multiple. As you can see, the top reasons include simplification of lead handoffs, the ability to route leads to your sales team efficiently is huge. Power lead scoring and marketing automation, as well as enhanced targeting and segmentation. In this slide, you can see one of our customers, Marketo, how they were able to increase conversions and also decrease the cost per lead by shortening their forms. So you can see on the right, they originally had 9 fields, and then in the middle, shortened it to 7, and then on the left, down to 5. They experienced their highest conversion and their lowest cost per lead while receiving even more data than on the original form that had 9 fields by implementing SmartForms, which you can see that's great. Those numbers are incredible. Here you see the success metrics that our customer Hortonworks experienced after implementing SmartForms that they shared with us. The conversion rate for their top targeted campaign was 47%, and they saw a 43% increase in lead accuracy. So as you can see, in summary, the importance of having that complete, accurate, and timely data is necessary for account-based marketing, and SmartForms allows you to capture this data at the first step of the buyer's journey. Okay, so now I would like to open it up to Q&A. If we do not get to your question during the webinar, we will definitely follow up after the webcast. So I am going to open it up to our first question. And let's see. All right, so here's a great question. Will smart forms interfere with my existing landing page forms? That's a great question. So no, smart forms will not interfere. Smart forms can be configured to work on any online lead form, including any of the major marketing automation platforms, as well as CRMs. Great question. Thank you for submitting that one. All right, let's move on to our next question. Okay, what systems will it work with? Okay, so smart forms will work with any platform. It's platform agnostic. Great question. All right, let's move on down, see what our next question is here. So how does the flow work? Okay, how does the flow work? So I believe they're referring to how do you set it up. Um, so smart forms, it's just a lightweight piece of JavaScript that actually sits on the page form. So what you'll do is create hidden fields for all the data points that you would like to capture, and then smart forms will populate the data and will be just along for the ride with the form as it normally would. And I'm happy to follow up even further offline if you would like further clarification on that. All right, let's move on to our next question. Do we get the data in real time? Yes. With our smart forms, the data is appended to the inbound lead at the point of lead conception in your either your marketing automation platform or CRM, however you have it set up. Great question. All right, I think we have time for a couple of more questions. Let's move on to our next one. All right, here is another question. Do you provide global information? So yes, we have over 225 million records and a strong global data set. All right, let's see. I think we have time for one more question. All right, so this is a good question. How can I obtain the same information to clean up my existing database that I would receive for new leads? So that's a really good question. So the good thing about implementing a data strategy is that it can happen at various points. So you can actually apply the same parameters to your existing current database, as we can update the data on an automated basis as well. So by implementing a front-end solution like Smart Forms and then a back-end data management strategy, you would have, it covered from both ends. So that's a really great question as well. All right, well, I think that is about, we're about at our time limit. So I want to thank everyone again for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us for today's webinar. After the webinar concludes, you will receive a survey. If you could please take a minute to complete the survey, that would be excellent. I would be interested in seeing any other future topics rather that you would like for us to discuss. We're going to be doing this bi-monthly Smart Forms webinar series throughout the end of the year. So would love feedback from today's webinar and also any future topics that you would like to see covered as well. So thank you again for joining today, and I hope that you will join me again in 2 weeks for our webinar on predictive marketing. So thank you very much and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.